So streamer Asmongold has a lot of weird takes, and if you don't know who Asmongold is, I'm sorry, but he is a streamer on Twitch who talks about video games, politics, and all sorts of things. But his takes are some of the worst. In fact, they range from fucking weird to bigoted to just straight up racism. Um, yeah, he's not the best human being, and we're just gonna talk about that because honestly, we should just all acknowledge what kind of person he is. And after every single time we talk about one of his, takes, we're gonna show a picture of his room and how he lives. Let's get into the first one where he talks about the game South of Midnight. I think that's what it's called, South of Midnight. It's a new action-based game. Here's his take.
They can take a genre that appeals traditionally to men and then shift it to a female protagonist or like a female setting and then expect to maintain their audience. You can't do that. That's just not how it works, right? It's like if you're adding in a character into a video game and like it's an action combat game, if it's a female character, she better have huge tits. And if she doesn't, you're doing something wrong. Like, I'm sorry, because the people that play those games are gooners and guys, and that's what they want to see. You don't give it to them, well, that's fine. They don't give you their money. And this...
The idea that all games should just be like gooner, like straight up porn for weird people, I don't understand that, right? I'm just gonna be honest, you're probably not the base market for the game. That's perfectly okay. You yourself do not have to be the target audience for literally every single game, right? Grand Theft Auto is not the target audience for every single game. Some people don't like Grand Theft Auto. And look, I'm a gamer, right? I'm not the biggest. I'm super casual. Mostly, I play Overwatch. I play Apex. The last game I bought was Hitman 3. I've been playing the whole series. It's been great so far. I don't have the new South of Midnight game because of the fact that it's on Xbox and Steam, and I have a PlayStation, so that's out the window for me. But still, the fact that every single game has to have every single action game, if a woman does not have big titties and an ass and it's enjoyable for me to look at, it's not a good game. That's a pretty dumb thing. And he rated the game a 7 out of 10. But like, overall, what sense does it make that, if she's not rocking big ass titties, you should not gonna play the game? Newsflash: Lara Croft exists. Tomb Raider exists. That is one of the most popular female protagonist games. And in the remaster, she's not like rocking double D's. It's a shocker. And also, we said we're gonna look at how he lives. This is how he lives. This is how he lives, and he's talking about the fact that, if they're going to be a female protagonist in an action game, they have to have big-ass titties. This is how he lives. He is filthy. There have been stories coming out of him saying, yeah, I used to just, not have an alarm clock. I just had a dead rat in my room, and I would know when it's time to wake up because the sun was shining through the window, and it would make the dead rat smell. That's him.
And the dead rat was a problem. I will be honest, because what happened is so I had I've had many dead rats in the house, but there was a dead rat in the house, and I said this, right? You guys know what's coming here, right? I used the dead rat as an alarm clock because basically I live in Texas. It gets really hot in Texas, and whenever it would get really hot, it would the house would get hotter, and it would cook the corpse of the rat, and it would make it smell worse. So I would wake up every morning at 7:30 or 8 a.m. I was ready to fucking go because the first thing that happened is I'd smell that goddamn rat. You know what the fuck? Yeah, that's a natural alarm. Yeah, free alarm clock.
That's this guy. This is his take on games. Let's move on to his next one. Now, this one falls under the lines of bigoted, but here's this.
No, and that's a good point, right? Is that that's why I said as an adult, is because if you're a kid and you get fed a lot of propaganda and messaging, I feel like every trans kid is actually a victim of a parent with a mental illness. That's what I believe. And so, like, I really, and this, you got a kid that's like 17, right? I mean, it's a little bit more, it's like not really as definitive. But like, if you have a kid that's like pre-puberty and they're trans, your parents have a mental illness.
Now, personally, I grew up in a city full of about 200,000 people, so you're gonna be around a lot of people growing up. Personally, me, I think I'm not, or I think this is an original experience. I don't think it's original. I think a lot of people have experiences. Growing up, you could always tell what kids were different, and the teacher would always say, "Yeah, they're not different. They're not different. They were." You call the kid gay, the teacher would be like, "He's not gay. Don't call him that. He's gay." And the thing is, when people say, "Oh no, all these people are touched when they're growing up, they're groomed," they're really not. They're just like that, and it's okay that they're like that. The idea that it's always, oh, they have to have been groomed or touched as a kid for them to turn out this way, that's not the case at all. Sometimes they're just like that. In fact, I have a gay friend. He wasn't touched growing up. He grew up in a Christian household. He's just gay. Okay? I've never met a trans person. I live in South Carolina. They're like 0.003% of the population here. Never met one. But if I go and talk to one, I'm sure there's one on my college campus somewhere around here. I'm sure if I go talk to one, they'll be like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't touch or anything. I'm just trans. Because that's just how it is. People can exist in a way that's just different without being groomed or touched. I mean, come on now. I remember being in like second, third grade, and there was a kid who was not playing football with us, who was not playing soccer with us. He didn't have any interest in that, which is perfectly fine, of course. You don't have to conform to the traditional masculine things. But he also just didn't hang out with any guys, right? He only hung out with girls, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be feminine. I hold that against no one. But the only interest he had in guys was like sexual. And we knew that. We knew he was gay. And this is like first, second grade. He asked the guy out in second grade. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how some people are. Like, I'm sorry. But also, once again, this is how this man lives. This is how this man lives. He's had cockroaches crawling over him midstream. I'm not joking.
Look at him. He's right there. Oh, God. Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Get out of my... Go in the...
And he just tossed them aside. Didn't kill him or nothing. Just tossed them. Oh, it's a cockroach. Yoink. This is this man, and these are his takes. Let's move on to the final one. Now, his final take is more or less, I guess you could say political, but it's kind of also racist and stupid, so let's get into it. He's more or less just saying, yeah, I'm not going to vote for someone if they decide they want to give benefits to other people.
Never going to vote for a person who's going to categorically put me at a disadvantage. Like, any time that somebody is providing advantages to an identity group that I don't belong to, I will never support that. Never. I'm out. I'm totally out. I will never support somebody that will put me at a disadvantage because of immutable characteristics. Maybe you do not need that. But I think I should be treated fairly, the same as everybody else is. And if somebody says that I shouldn't be treated fairly and I should be put at a disadvantage, then I'm going to vote against them. And you can...
Now, Asmongold is a straight white millionaire. There are no disadvantages coming out. And I think what he's talking about is Kamala Harris saying she wants to give small business loans to black African Americans who are starting businesses. She was trying to encourage that. Now, you are not disenfranchised in any way, shape, or form as a straight white millionaire. In fact, people in his chat were pointing out, no, you're not being disenfranchised, dude. They're just putting them on your level. The idea that other people could exist on his level through laws is just crazy to him. And now, I understand you're voting for your interest. You think you're going to be disenfranchised. You're not, though. And anyone with a positive IQ could see that. But once again, this is this man. This is how he lives. He is actually filthy. Just disgusting. But that's the video. I more or less made this just to, have some of these opinions that just exist out on the internet. And for some people, you shouldn't believe in some of these things. There's, shit, my bad. there's no real reason or anything wrong with supporting people just because they exist, right? If a game does not have a big tittied ass female protagonist, it's not a bad game, right? It's not a bad game. If you feel like someone should only always cater to you, that's not a good thing. If you feel like children are being groomed, they're probably not. They could be, but they're probably not, especially if they're a part of a certain community. That being said, that's the video. Peace, love, and kindness, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.